Rakataya Hawashah, Rakataya Hawa, Rakataya Hawashah, Rakataya Hawa, Rakataya Hawashah, Call Halal Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahwashah, Ba'ashem, Roha Kadash. Double honors to our elders and apostles, the great millstone, and peace and salutation to the hopeful elect scattered across the four winds. This is your brother, Yakar Abin from Great Millstone, Houston, with another lesson on the things that are about to come on the earth. Prophecy. Let's get that. 19 to 10. This is Revelation chapter 19 and verse 10. It says, "And I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, See thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahweh. Worship the Most High, for the testimony of Yahweh is the spirit of prophecy." And let's get that word testimony. A testifying. This is Martyria G3141. It says, the office committed to prophets of testifying concerning future events, ones that testifies testimony before a judge. Okay, so the testimony of Yahweh, which the world ignorantly calls Jesus. Yahweh means he is the deliverer. And Yahweh means he is or he exists. That's the Father's name, and his son's name is Yahweh, which means he is the deliverer. So the testimony of Yahweh is the spirit of prophecy, and we understand that prophecy G4394 prophetia is prophecy, a discourse emanating from divine inspiration and declaring the purpose of the Most High, whether by reproving and admonishing the wicked or comforting the afflicted or revealing things hidden by foretelling future events. Okay, so those that are concerned with the with prophecy will understand that the times that we are in. Prophecy has been laid out. The Heavenly Father has laid out his plan. He has declared, the things that would happen aforetime. Let's get that. This is Isaiah chapter 55 and verse 8. It says, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. For as the rain cometh down, and the snow from heaven, and return not thither, but watereth the earth, and make it bring forth and bud, that it may give seed to the sower and bread to the eater." So the Heavenly Father is saying that, the rain, when the rain comes down, is for a purpose. The rain falls, the snow falls, is for a purpose. Okay, it comes down and it waters the ground and it brings forth different things. It waters the plants, it brings forth water for the people. It brings forth all of these different things. So it just doesn't happen for no reason. When the rain comes down, is for a purpose, and it accomplishes its purpose once it comes down. If the Lord wants it to flood, then the rain will come down so it floods, whatever the Lord wants it to flood. If the rain comes down and it's pure water, then guess what? It can be used for drinking water for people, and so on and so forth. But these things happen for a reason. It says, this is Isaiah 55:11. It says, so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereunto I sent it. So the Heavenly Father, when he says something, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's he doesn't say anything that's just void, just to be saying it. No, he said that things are going to happen on the earth, and he's gonna, if he said it, let me get that. Wait a minute. This is Isaiah chapter 46 and verse 10. It says, declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand and I will do all my pleasure. So the Heavenly Father has declared all of these things that are going to come about on the earth, right? All of these different things are going to come about on the earth. And we ought to be occupied in prophecy, telling the people the things that are about to happen, and first and foremost, the mark, the mark that RFID micro CHIP, these things, the devil is going to come, and try to establish his new world order. And he wants to give everybody a mark. This is Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16. It says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So, this is going to happen on the earth. This is going to happen on the earth, and it's going to happen soon. People don't like to go into the book of Revelation because they don't understand it, but the prophets have been, sent back on the scene. The Heavenly Father has sent his prophets out to explain these things and explain what's going to happen. The Heavenly Father doesn't do he revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. Let's get that. This is Amos chapter 3 and verse 7. It says, surely Yahweh by Shem Yahushua will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets. So the Heavenly Father has revealed the secrets of what's to come on, but yet mainstream media knows it. But yet you have these different Israelite camps that don't understand that, the world is going to a digital dollar, and that digital dollar is going to be controlled by a digital wallet. And that digital wallet is going to be accessed through a chip that they're going to put inside your hand or in your forehead. And they're already doing it. But people seem to want to shy away from that, talking about, well, it's, you already got a chip in your cell phone. Yeah, you do have a chip in your cell phone. And right now they're trying to tie your cell phone number to you, but this is just the beginning of it. They want you to literally have a device inside of you, which goes back to a digital all. When you decide to serve your master until death, you have to take them to the, let's get it. We'll read over it. I should Deuteronomy. 21. This is Exodus chapter 21 and verse 5. It says, if the servant shall plainly say, I love my master, my wife, and my children, I will not go out free. Well, let's get it. I'm going to read it in its entirety. This is Exodus chapter 21 and verse 1. It says, now these are the judgments which thou shalt set before thee. If thou buy an Hebrew servant, 6 years he shall serve, and in the 7th he shall go out free for nothing. If he came in by himself, he shall go out by himself. If he were married, then his wife shall go out with him. If his master give him a wife, and she have borne him sons and daughters, the wife and her children shall be her master's, and he shall go out by himself. And if the servant plainly say, I love my master, my wife, and my children, I will not go out free, then his master shall bring him unto the judges. He shall also bring him to the door, or unto the doorpost, and his master shall bore his ear through with an awl, and he shall serve him forever. So, that is what these elites are trying to do. They're trying to get individuals to agree to serve them forever. And, if you take that mark, the Heavenly Father is going to kill you, because you got to die. You got to die to get out of that agreement. You have to die to get out of that agreement. So, it is what it is, but hey, that's what it goes back to. So it's going to be a physical implantation. So, okay, let's get the word. Okay, the word is charagma. It means what? G5480, a stamp, an imprinted mark of a mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as a badge of the followers of the Antichrist. Okay, so there's many Antichrists. This is all fables, right? Anybody that is against the laws of the Heavenly Father and his Son is an Antichrist. So, all of you Christians are Antichrist, every last one of you, because you don't believe the Holy Scriptures. You don't believe that Yahushua is going to come back on the earth and set up his rulership with his people, the Israelites, the Hebrew Israelites. He's going to set up his rulership over the earth, and all the other nations are going into slavery. So if you don't believe that, then guess what? You're Antichrist. You're straight up Antichrist. But let's get the word. It goes back to karox, which means a pale or a stake, a palisade or a rampart, which is the delivery system on which the mark will be placed into you, a sharp to a point akin to. And let's get this word. Okay, so this is G1125, which means grapho, to write with reference to form of letters. So basically your information is going to be written on a chip that's going to be inserted into your body through using a karox or a palisade. Let's get a palisade. Palisade fence panel. Palisade. It's the parts that go down into the ground. Palisade is the part. Okay, let's get that. Koroks. Or let's basically I'll show you. Palisade. See? Needle, Palisade. It's going to have a but this is the delivery system. Wait a minute, let's how so looking up these words, I mean, look. See that? That is the Koroks. That is the Koroks. It's a Karagma. It's a physically implanted. This is the Koroks. And guess what? The Grapho has got your information written on it. So it can be scanned. It can be scanned so you can open doors, so you can do all of these different things. You'll be able to access your money. Okay, so I just asked the online AI, and let's see what it has to say. Let's see what it has to say about this. I asked it, what does the mark of the beast look like in the near future? It says the exact appearance of the mark of the BEAST is not explicitly detailed in the Bible, leading to various interpretations ranging from a literal physical mark to a purely symbolic representation of spiritual allegiance. And according to Revelation chapter 13, 16 through 18, it is a mark placed on the right hand or forehead associated with the number 666, or the name of a global leader. Okay, it says literal theories about what the mark might look like in the near future generally fall into two categories. Implanted technology. Popular model speculation suggests it could be an implanted chip like an RFID or a neural interface that connects to a global financial system. It says, okay, and it says visible stamps or tattoos. Some scholars interpret the Greek word charagma, meaning engraving or stamp, as a literal visible tattoo, barcode, or electronic smart tattoo. Biometric data, advanced in facial recognition and palm vein mapping are often viewed as potential precursors to a system where your physical body becomes your mark. Okay, so it's telling you, okay, it's telling you. I mean, AI is telling you, and we understand that it is the implanted chip. I mean, you don't have to believe it, but hey, if you take it, you're through. If you take it, you have to, the Lord is coming back to kill you. The Lord is coming back to kill you. You don't have to worry about it. You're gonna die a grievous death. And there's no repenting of it. You can't come back from that. Once you take it, you're through. Okay. I asked it. Okay. So I asked it another question. I said, so how soon can this be implemented? It says In modern interpretations, the implementation of the mark of the beast depends on both theological timelines and the readiness of global technology. Okay, so this timeline is 7 year period. That's a bunch of bullshit. Okay, but it says, okay, going down to technological readiness, the infrastructure. While the mark itself is viewed as a future event, many observers believe the infrastructure required to enforce it is being built right now. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. The it says digital identity 2025 to 2030. Global efforts to establish digital IDs and digital wallets are accelerating. For example, the European Central Bank expects a digital euro to be ready for potential issuance by 2029. Biometric payments, systems that allow you to pay with a palm scan or face recognition, are already in use in select stadiums. And it says, okay, and it says central bank digital currencies. Over 100 current countries are currently exploring the piloting of central bank digital currencies, which would enable the level of economic control described in Revelation, the ability to shut off a person's ability to buy and sell. So it says, perspective, strict theological, it says 3 to 5 years in a future period. It says technological, 2 to 5 years for full infrastructure. Current status in progress. So, I mean, if you don't get it, if you don't understand, it's just not meant for you to understand. But today you can go out and the infrastructure is there because you can scan your card as it stands right now. Your card has a chip on it. Your debit card has a chip on it, and you can do contactless payments. So let's see. Let's ask it. Okay. Can I do contactless payments today if I have a microchip implanted? Yes, you can perform contactless payments with a microchip implanted today, though is not yet a mainstream banking service. As of April 2026, several companies provide payment implants that function similarly to a contactless debit card or a smartphone's near field communication chip. So there it is. There it is. I mean, and guess what? Whenever you take this chip, people want to say that it's different groups say different things. It's sin, it's this, it's that. It's but so, check this out. This is Revelation chapter 16 and verse 2. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image. Salakia. This is Revelation 16 and 2. It says, and the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome, what's that? Bad nature, kakos, apparently a primary wound, salakia, apparently a primary word, worthless, but it says of a bad nature, not such as it ought to be, of a mode of thinking, feeling, acting, base, wrong, wicked, troublesome, injurious, pernicious, destructive, banful. It says, so there fell a noisome and grievous, full of labor, annoyances, hardship, Paneros, G4190, pressed and harassed by labors, bringing toils, annoyance, perils of a time full of peril, Christian faith and steadfastness causing pain and trouble, bad of a bad nature or condition. It says, in a physical sense, diseased or blind. But okay, so it says a noisome and grievous sore. What was that? A wound producing a discharge or pus. So a sore or an ulcer. So how in the world do nations get sores or ulcers? And it says, upon the men. It says, and the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image. So it is what it is. You know, if you take the mark, you're gonna get a noisome, grievous sore. Let me see. Did that have a root? Great trouble, intense desire, panos. Let's get that. Of a bad nature, kakos, kakas. Rotten, putrefied, worthless, literally or morally. Sapros, corrupted by one and no longer fit for use, worn out, rotten, putrefied. So guess what? You're going to get a rotten, putrefied sore if you take, the charagma. That was it. Yeah. Putrefied. That was grievous. Let's go back. See. Noisome. Full of labor, annoyance, and hardships, causing pain and trouble. So, hey, if you take that charagma, you're going to have a noisome, grievous sore. So, don't take it. Don't take it by way of death. If you believe that Yahweh Shah was crucified and rose on the third day, then the Heavenly Father can raise you up as well. So, by penalty of death, do not take this. Do not take the charagma. With that being said, hopefully this lesson was edifying. I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Raha Kadash. Double honors to our elders and apostles, the great millstone who taught us this truth, and double honors to the men that taught our elders and apostles. Hopefully this lesson was edifying. Shalom.